Hi, I present to you some false science. I started a list named Wrong Science against Alan Guth. Alan Guth invented the false theory of inflation. He says that inflation is somehow an opposite force to the force of attraction of gravity.
Right. Inflation is basically an attempt to explain the bang of the Big Bang, what set the universe into this period of gigantic expansion. It turns out the conventional Big Bang theory really said nothing about the Big Bang itself, the propulsion mechanism. Inflation takes advantage of ideas coming out of particle physics, which tell us that at very high energy densities, there's a prediction that there should exist forms of matter which literally turn gravity on its head, causing gravity to become repulsive. So this repulsive gravity would be the driving force behind the Big Bang. The assumption would be that the early universe contained at least a small amount of this repulsive gravity material. It drove then an exponential expansion, which became the Big Bang of our universe, the driving force behind the expansion.
So if you listen to him, he says that it is an attraction. Gravity, dude, is not attraction. So what it is inflation? Your false science. Gravity is not attraction, okay? Gravity is a force defined by area. Newton knew only this: force equal mass times acceleration. This force has rectilinear case and a circular case. You see, Newton supposed that, you see, this is a circular case, a constant speed, and you can make this infinite. And Newton says like this: imagine that is no spring between my hand and this piece. What will keep this to circulate my hand? A force. It is not attraction, it is a force, is a connection. It is a connection between my hand and that piece. And identically how you define the force on the spring, the force varies with area. Because Galileo discovered that it is an acceleration, gravity. So from this to this, it varies. It varies. So if you put it on a circle, it varies. If you imagine that is no springs, the force in the spring is not equal in my hand and here in this object is not equal. Newton says that the most higher you go, the smaller the force is. So in this spring, the force is smaller towards my hand because you get away from here because of the acceleration. And when you approach this, it is bigger. So identically, there's a force in this rotational case. You ignore the spring. The spring is making an area all the way, like a full circle, you see? So exactly like this, it varies. So it is not attraction that you will invent some false science, anti-attraction inflation. So your inflation is children's story, okay? This is the circle, and you imagine this circle full, but with different colors because it varies in area, the force. So if it will be attraction, the law of acceleration says that it accelerated. You understand? So understand? I dropped something there. I'm not going to pick it up again now in this video. So the force of acceleration says that it will accelerate it. Okay? So if it will be attraction between the sun and the earth, it will be accelerated, it will collapse. You understand? So it is not attraction. It is not attraction. Newton knew only force equal mass time acceleration. And you put this in a rectilinear case and a circular case. And if you do not understand how this can produce the orbit, it is hard. But the calculus is not explaining to you how to have mind and philosophy. but you do not falsify science, dude. So you come forward and admit that you are wrong if you understand physics. And I'm asking you a more profound question. All the professors in this world are this crazy in science? All the professors. So what is inflation? Nothing. Squad, dude. Squad.
Right. Inflation is basically an attempt to explain the bang of the Big Bang, what set the universe into this period of gigantic expansion. It turns out the conventional Big Bang theory really said nothing about the Big Bang itself, the propulsion mechanism. Inflation takes advantage of ideas coming out of particle physics, which tell us that at very high energy densities, there's a prediction that there should exist forms of matter which literally turn gravity on its head, causing gravity to become repulsive. So this repulsive gravity would be the driving force behind the Big Bang. The assumption would be that the early universe contained at least a small amount of this repulsive gravity material. It drove then an exponential expansion, which became the Big Bang of our universe, the driving force behind the expansion.
So gravity is not attraction. If you do not understand, I put to you in my previous videos a billiard ball. If you hit a billiard ball with a rectilinear force and circulating force, there's two forces. This force comports in two cases, a rectilinear one and circular one, and the same object can have the both cases, rectilinear and circular. And like a boomerang, when the boomerang walks in the field of atmosphere, exactly like defined by area, is a force, distribute force. And the boomerang consumes this rectilinear force, but the circular one gains again and makes the sinus cosinus. This will make a perpetual motion. And at billiards, when a ball has two cases of rectilinear and circular, it consumes this will bring it back. So acceleration and mass, it is not attraction. So what is it? Inflation. You're stupid. You're stupid. So you come and admit this to the world. You will come and admit this to the world. And stop lying the planet, dude.